Sports.
Not long ago, Rutgers was the new school on the Big Ten block, but the Scarlet Knights, now a decade veteran in the league. And tonight, set to kick off the 2024 first full weekend of college football and the new Big Ten. It's a new era, the same great history.
The only thing certain in life is change. Change is a drummer who never loses the beat. Always playing in time. Throughout time. For years, Big Ten football filled stadiums and set records on TV. Winning the hearts of Middle America and championships along the way. This week, the Big Ten hits the airwaves in full stereo. A conference that spans from the Atlantic to the Pacific. A louder, faster beat. Backed by an 18-team orchestra. Ready to launch a hard-hitting symphony. Welcome to a new day. Welcome to the new Big Ten.
And it's the birthplace of college football, giving us game number 1 of the new Big Ten here on Big Ten Network. It's the Rutgers Scarlet Knights off a winning season a year ago against the 2-time defending MEAC champs, Howard Bison. The anticipation for this season has been building since a bowl victory at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx a season ago, their first time in about a decade. And Rutgers has been waiting a long time for the walk down that tunnel to light up this crowd. And the freshmen now in tow after their convocation today. And they are getting set to run out onto this field and open this new season and this new era of college football. It has been a long wait over these last 9 months for these young men. A Thursday night opener. That door is open. And Greg Schiano about to lead this team onto the field in a very highly anticipated 2024 campaign. And there they go to kick off the new college football season. There are very high expectations around these parts, and with that, we welcome you into the broadcast booth. Jason Horwitz, the great Matt Millen, happy to have you with us here in this new era of the Big Ten, here on the Big Ten Network, Matt. There's a lot we'll get to, but number one thing for Rutgers, off a winning season for the first time since 2014. They have high hopes for something much greater this year.
They have a great roster. They have guys returning. They have some new blood that's coming in. They've got some running game. They've got some pass rushers. This is going to be a good Rutgers football team. I'll be anxious to see how far they can go.
Now 7-6 a year ago, they could not pass the football. This year, they bring in Minnesota transfer Ethan Kaliak-Manis to try and change that.
And he won the competition straight out, right? And so he's very familiar with this offense. It's an offense that he ran up in Minnesota. Kirk Shiraka, the offensive coordinator, They're on the same page. He's a guy who sees things well. He gets rid of the ball. He's accurate. He's an improvement over what they had a year ago. They are banking on him to take another big step.
Now, what they did have a year ago was the Big Ten's leading rusher, Kyle Monangai, who took a massive step last season, and they're expecting even greater things this year.
Yeah, I think people who have not seen this guy, you're missing something, because this kid is legit. He led the league a year ago in rushing. He is powerful. He has great vision. He's got excellent balance. He's one of those guys who never quits. He reminds me of his former teammate, Isaiah Pacheco, with the Kansas City Chiefs. Same style, tough runner. Gonna love watching him tonight.
Now, he's healthy, but that's not the case for all of Rutgers. And with more down on the field to our third member of our team, Taryn Hatcher.
Thank you. Well, we know Greg Schiano takes great pride in his team's playing great defense tonight. They're going to have to get it done with a few key pieces missing. The headliner, Mohamed Toure, who suffered his second ACL injury in 3 seasons. Greg Schiano announced that Toure would be out for the season last week. Now, in the long run, the Scarlet Knights expect Tyreen Powell to step up in his absence. However, Powell is questionable. He's still working his way back from an Achilles injury that he suffered in February. So we'll see how much, if at all, the Scarlet Knights lean on him today. Now, that means the Scarlet Knights, they're turning to junior linebacker from the Great White North, DJ Jabome. Now, DJ has a tremendous story getting here to Piscataway. We might get more into that later tonight. However, this is the most responsibility he's had to take on so far in his young career. So we'll see how he handles that. Along the defensive line, Wesley Bailey, Troy Rainey, both out for the Scarlet Knights, and Flip Dixon out in the secondary. So Greg Schiano and his defense, they're going to have to turn to a lot of new faces tonight that are going to step up and potentially have a big opportunity in front of them.
Taryn, no question about that. We'll see that defense second, though, as Howard won the toss and elected to defer, so Rutgers will get the ball first. It is 74 degrees. It is sticky down on the field. Matt and I have already gone through different suits tonight, at least one of us. Download the Fox Weather app for all your information. Yesterday, though, it was 100, so you'll take 75.
I'll take that every time, yeah. I'm not bad sticky, though. Kind of like sticky.
Heard that. That's why wings are your favorite. That is a true freshman back deep to receive, Ben Black. He is a speedster, one of the fastest guys on the team. Out of Charlotte, North Carolina, a record holder. They are ready to chop it up here at Piscataway. Dylan West to kick it off for Howard, coming off a 6-6 season a year ago. Says white, that is Dylan West. Some name and number changes for Howard coming into this ball game. Keep that in mind throughout the night. The season is underway. And it is Black coming out from the 10 with his first career Rutgers touch. He'll get stopped and stacked up right around the 27-yard line, which will bring us to Ethan Kaliak-Manis, the new starting quarterback for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 17 career starts for the Golden Gophers. Transfer in here, wants to improve that accuracy map, but they believe he's going to have a great season here.
Well, the thing with Kaliak-Manis that makes him comfortable is he's with Kirk Shiraka again. He had Kirk Shiraka when Kirk was the play caller up in Minnesota. They're on the same page. They think the same way. They think things through the same way. That's a huge positive and big step forward to come in on a new spot, new team.
It's over for Gavin Wimsett, transferred to Kentucky. He's passing on the first play, and it's a wide open receiver. And a fresh set of downs out to Ian Strong. The sophomore takes it out past the 40 on a pickup of 16 yards.
That's just smart. That's just smart football. So if you're going to give a cushion, they're going to take the cushion, right? He's sitting off 10 yards. Take the yardage, and it's exactly what he did. But nice and accurate, and come out throwing.
Give it to Monangai with a massive hole, and he had one man to beat. And he was just tripped up by Gallup, otherwise he was gone.
Gallup is an excellent player. That's a next level player. He's going to have a chance. And this, he just saved a touchdown right here because He breaks out the backside, and Gallup just catches that ankle, or he's off to the races.
Now, there were certainly some concerns for Howard along the defensive line against a very strong and experienced Rutgers offensive line and a powerful line. Howard's strength is in the secondary. They are very experienced back there. A couple of solid plays for Rutgers to start the 2024 season. Callie McManus pumps. Got some space. Now it closes and he chucks it into the sideline with a smart decision as we take a look at the starting lineups for the Scarlet Knights here in 2024. And again, some of his strength, of course, in the backfield. Manungai Daimir Miller, the transfer from Monmouth, and All-American on the FCS level. Christian Dremel in the slot, certainly with some speed. And then you get the starting offensive line, Matt, which is very experienced, and Holland Pierce, very improved.
Yeah, and he's come a long way in the last 3 years. He's going to have a chance at the next level as well. 6'8", 325 pounds. He's down from 450. Back
to Manungai on 2nd and 10. Right into the waiting arms of Noah Miles. He picks up about 3.5, so it'll be the first third down here for Callie McManus in plus territory.
And so if you want to pick up some yards and just kind of get things going, you're going to go to Holland Pierce, number 72, the left tackle. You can watch him. He's just a big, he's 6'8". He's 330 pounds. He's come a long way. Oh, that's an excellent throw, but dropped.
Yeah, right off the shoulder pads of being strong over the middle. Robert Jones III was in coverage. And the crowd wants an early 4th down attempt here in the season, less than 2 minutes into the start of this opener.
And that ball was right where it had to be. Callie McManus was right on it. Just a dropped ball.
Greg Schiano in his 5th year back at Rutgers. 16th overall, 87 wins, number 1 all time. And a timeout taken here by the Scarlet Knights. So maybe some confusion, Matt, on what was happening on the other side. Maybe some indecision whether they want to go for it. So they're taking a break. We'll step aside as well early here in the first. Greg Schiano taking an early timeout on a 4th and 6. Had the special teams unit out on the field. They are still gathered around him, Matt, but they are long in that timeout. Now finally breaking the huddle.
Greg is a master at this. The way he does his special teams, what he wants them to do, how he does it. He's one of the best coaches in the Big Ten.
Well, and a new formation here for Greg Schiano. Austin Riggs, the new long snapper, the grad transfer from BYU, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players lined up in a T. With the new punter, Jacob Anderson, 15 yards back. Now they shift. Anderson going to try and angle his first career college punt. And it's caught for a fair catch by Richie Ilaraza at the 10-yard line. So a 37-yard punt, nothing on the return for Greg Schiano, who will now send his defense out onto the field, and certainly one of the strong points of Rutgers last year. They had one of their best defenses in a decade and a half.
Yeah, and this is what Schiano specializes in. Wherever Greg Schiano goes, they're always going to have a good defense, and it's not disappointed here at Rutgers. That's the strength of their team, and they're able to do it without really having a pure pass rusher. He really does a great job bringing different people all the time. Now again, like Taryn mentioned earlier, they're down a bunch of guys too, so there's a lot of younger guys playing here tonight.
Facing a first-time career starter, Jay-Sean Scroggins, who hands it off to Jarrett Hunter.
Jabomi right there.
Yeah. E.J. Jabomi, the junior from Quebec, and he has been flying around in camp, and again, replacing Couture and Tyree Powell.
Yeah, he's nice because he's not being touched by anybody, so he can just sit and read and watch that back. Nice job in the eyes and slowed down and made the tackle.
A pair of great backs for Howard. Jarrett Hunter is the MEAC preseason offensive player of the year. Scroggins left it short. And it is caught by the tight end, Nate Clark. Takes it out to the 15, so it'll be 3rd down and 5. The impact player is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. And that's the pair of running backs that Lewis and Longerbeam will deal with.
Yeah, James and Hunter, both of them are excellent. Both of them can take it long, and you can wear a defense down with them. Aaron Lewis is a guy, they got to get some pass rush out of him. Just excellent player on that outside, plays the run exceptionally well.
Last year, 46% on third down. Scroggins keeps it himself and picks up the first down. Jabome held on to his legs, but he picked up 7 and a fresh set of downs.
It's a nice job up front by that offensive line. They do a good job. You're going to ride that. It's all in his eyes. So it's his call. As soon as he sees that one defender left, Jabome ends up making the tackle on him. But you see his eyes are up. He has a blocker one-on-one. Nice job, nice read.
Motion man is Casey Hawthorne. He goes right to a bunch of Scarlet Knights after about 3. And for Scroggins, man, he is taking a look at a Rutgers defense that last year was top 20 in the country, 313 yards allowed, and they returned a lot of players. But again, as Taryn mentioned, they're dealing with a lot of injuries tonight.
And don't forget, let me tell you something. Larry Scott, the head coach, he's also the offensive coordinator here. They do a really good job. This is a really well-coached football team. This is a team that's coming up here thinking they can win. The mindset's right. I know Larry, I think the world of him. I think he's outstanding.
Hawkins with some play action. Got hit as he threw it, looking for the tight end. And it's incomplete from Clark. Loyal, veteran safety, trailing in coverage, and it'll be 3rd and 7. If you think about Jayshon Scroggins, Matt, first-year starter. Larry Scott had Quinn Williams for 4 years. What a spot to get your first career start.
Yeah, and he's going to cut a lot of pressure right in the front. And did a really nice job. Aaron Lewis does a nice job of coming off this edge to put pressure on him. Forces him to throw it fast and throw the incompletion. Nice job by Aaron Lewis getting off the edge. That's what they need consistently.
7.5 career sacks for Lewis. Scroggins on 3rd down. He's going to use his legs again. He does get to the outside, and the first down out to the 45-yard line. Abram Wright, the backup linebacker, who had an interception in the bowl game, made the tackle, but another first down with his legs.
Excellent job by Scroggins. So he sees it, and this is a called play, right? And so he's coming out the back end, nobody there. They're gonna have to get some eyes on him.
They like to get to the outside of the perimeter. That's Ilaraza, who had a big game last year against Northwestern. You know, you mentioned Larry Scott and Howard. They went to Evanston last year and were in a field goal game in the last 5 minutes in a 23-20 loss to the Northwestern.
I called that game, and this is my first time that I saw this team, and you saw immediately all the things that make a team excellent, right? All the little things, they do them right. That's a sign of good coaching.
Rockets has looked good with some easy passes. Solid tackle in open space. Shaq Loyal, the senior from Newark, made the stop. It's a loss of 1.
Excellent job by Shaq. So what you have to do in open field now, you got to give him one way to go and one only. So he took away the outside, forced him back to the inside. He was able to get him down. Nice job by Shaq Loyal.
Now remember, for Howard, this was a drive that started on its own 10-yard line. So to get out from its own end zone, a solid job by the redshirt sophomore from Las Vegas.
See if they don't keep eyes on the quarterback.
Play clock down to 2. And Larry Scott did a 40-yard dash to get a timeout. So Howard took the play clock all the way down with a big 3rd and 7 coming up. They've converted a pair of 3rd and long on this drive. What do they have out of the timeout here in the opening quarter at Rutgers? Ninth play of the Howard drive coming up here out of the timeout. Saturday, Big Ten tailgate live from Purdue's campus to set the scene for a full day of football. Fun gets going at 10 Eastern from West Lafayette, 7 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Let's see if Rutgers doesn't put a spy here on Scroggins, because he's been killing them with his feet.
Yeah, well, the boardwalk here pregame, it's bigger and better this year, Matt. Scroggins certainly wasn't out there. Didn't enjoy the petting zoo that is larger this year. More ponies. 3rd down and 7, Scroggins to the air. And it's intercepted. Picked off. Rutgers down the sideline with the convoy. Pick 6 Rutgers.
broke out, he threw it inside. Bad read.
And a 52-yard interception return for a touchdown for Greg Schiano's defense, who had bent a little bit, but man, oh man, did they just turn the tide.
Rutgers, he got on his horse, didn't he? Got down that sideline pretty quick.
And he had some of those big guys in front making sure he was at the open lane. Jai Patel on for the extra point. Rutgers last year had a punt return for a touchdown. He adds a pick six to that career total. Patel's extra point is up and through. And just like that, 6 minutes in, Rutgers turns the tide a little bit on this ball game.
I looked to see if they kept a spy on it, and they did. You can see him in the middle of your screen. And that ball just came on his hand weird. It came back to the inside. The receiver broke to the outside, and then he just took it to the house.
Now, Isaiah Williams, the intended receiver, but yeah, not quite on the same page.
It's a nice job of converting from defense to offense. Everybody getting in to get a block. Really well done.
That also starts to change the feeling too, right? It's the opener, it's a Thursday night. First time Thursday night opener in Rutgers school history. The wait for this one has been long. You know you're missing some of the key players.
And I've been down to Rutgers practices a few times, and trust me, they were brutal. Greg Schiano did not take this team lightly. He knows this is a well-coached team. He knows it's talented. And he was pressing on them pretty good.
Allowing this crowd to get into it too, and Greg Schiano, he has talked all offseason, but particularly in camp here, Matt, about not letting the expectations turn into poison. Don't let his guys read it, taste it, drink it, any of it. Kickoff is drilled into the end zone, so it'll come out to the 25. And now if you're Scroggins, man, who comes into this ball game having thrown 12 career passes, you're going well, you're using your legs, you're picking up third down, and you got to bounce back against that.
Yeah, and so now what he's got to really do is he's got to have a poor memory. You got to forget about that, move on. There's nothing you can do about it. It's only one score. Get back to doing what you're doing. If I'm the coaches right now, I'm gonna get a ball out of his hand as quickly as I can, but also encourage him to use his feet, because that's dangerous. I did notice there that they did put a spy on him on that last third down, so we'll see how this goes.
Best friend is back to the ground. Eden James breaks through for one, and he picks up 11 yards into the secondary. Loyal, another tackle, but the son of Edgerrin James, who had more than 170 on the ground against Northwestern last year, breaks a big one.
Yeah, this is a nice job by the right side of this offensive line. Everybody's getting somebody, right? They're running through that defensive front too easy.
Edgerrin James down on the sideline. He got to Miami after Greg Schiano was coming up to Rutgers, the Pro Football Hall of Famer. Son setting his own path, a very good running back. Scroggins trying to set up the screen. Great grab. And James takes that out past the 40. That looked like it was going to fall to his toes, and he picked up 5 yards.
Bo Masco did a really nice job right there, number 3. He's the corner. He was able to get to the outside and force him to come back inside so that a tackler could be made. Had he not gotten outside, the runner would have been able to get outside and get more yardage. Nice job by him.
Heavy set. Montrell Walker comes in as a second tight end. Back to Eden James, and he is stacked up.
Oh, he got stuffed
by Keontae Hamilton. We talked about that connection, Miami and the James family to Greg Schiano. With more downstairs to Taryn.
Well, it's not just the James family that has a connection. So actually, Howard head coach Larry Scott, his brother LeVar, was a linebacker at the University of Miami, while Greg Schiano was a defensive coordinator there. We mentioned Edgerrin James just missed Greg Schiano at Miami. That being said, I asked Greg if he had any Edgerrin stories yesterday, and he said, oh, I have a lot of Edgerrin stories, but the one I can tell you, he always wanted a limousine. So when he got those first NFL checks, he bought one. However, he didn't have a driver, so he was his own chauffeur for a while. Of course, Edgerrin went on to be a very successful businessman as well as an NFL player, so I'm sure he can afford a driver these days, guys.
False start. Offense.
False start, David Siegel, our referee. Matt, what'd you do with your first game check when you were selected by the Raiders?
All $3.27 of it.
Yeah, what'd you do with it? Did that buy a limo in 1980?
I would never, had no idea.
But Greg Schiano said he had nothing but respect. Edgerrin James, so business savvy, but he wants Eden James to be his own football player, and he's certainly paving his own way.
Kid's a good player. Dad's a good dad. So and the family's a good family. That's good to see.
So after the false start, back to a 3rd and 7. Scroggins trying the near sideline, and it's well over the head of Casey Hawthorne. Solid coverage by Robert Longerbeam, who takes over as the #1 corner this year.
Yeah, Longerbeam, he's been playing for a while. He gets it. He understands. Gets in front of that, gets a nice jam at the line of scrimmage, doesn't let anybody off, and the ball's just thrown out of bounds. Good defense. I was a little surprised to see that they were able to run the football. Howard got after that defensive front a little bit.
Yeah, so far 42 yards rushing here in the first quarter. Ben Rosenblatt back deep to receive the punt. Jadon Green. Lefty Poop, more of a line drive. Rosenblatt calls for the fair catch at the 17-yard line. So a 44-yard punt, nothing on the return. Rutgers takes over, and Ethan Kaliak-Manis back on the field next. Rutgers on offense, our impact players, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. We talked about Kyle Monangai, but Dymere Miller, maybe that explosive receiver they've been waiting to get. And then on the other side, MEAC Defensive Player of the Year, Kenny Gallup Jr. in the secondary.
Yeah, so right there, you have 4 guys, next-level players. Monangai, Miller, Gallup, and Stewart, all are going to have a chance at that next level to play. And there's going to be some good football played in the National Football League from these guys.
And Howard has a couple of guys in the NFL off last year's roster. Fresh set it down. Scarlet Knights leading 7-0 on a 52-yard Eric Rogers interception return. They rode that for a while. Monangai got the carry. He picks up about 2 yards. Right into the middle.
Yeah, you watch that offensive line. I'm watching them to see how long they stay on their blocks, and they have been. You saw Felter right there, 65. He just kept on trying to block. There's a difference in this offensive line as opposed to a year ago.
Back to Monangai, squirts through the line, cuts to the outside, and Monangai out to the 36-yard line on a solid run again.
Nice job, good vision. He's able to see it. You're gonna watch him right from the start. Just go where there's nobody, right? So you have to see all that. Monangai does that, and then he can finish with power if he has to. Runs right through an arm tackle there, gets to the next level. Very well done.
He picked up 15 yards. So his second run here in the opening quarter of 10 or more. Rutgers was lacking times last year. Explosive plays. They've had a few here in the early going. Nice cut. Dymere Miller with his first catch in a Rutgers uniform, and he's right near the marker again.
And that's what you want out of Kaliak-Manis right there. Just a nice, accurate ball. Make it easy to catch. They're able to do it. Something that they did not have a year ago is the consistency in the passing game. He's getting well protected. You can see the field. Ball comes out right where it has to. Miller with a nice catch.
And we were talking about this with offensive coordinator Kirk Shiraka yesterday. Numbers don't say accurate passer last year, right. 53%, but they believe his eyes and now being reunited with a guy who wants to start him fresh is a chance for him to have that way up.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's on the same page with the coordinator. That makes a big difference.
Oh, what a block by Monangai.
Great job by Monangai. And there's one thing to take the fake, right? You're going to take the fake and then you kind of settle down. There's another one to take the fake and then you have to jump out to the left side because you have to take, there's one blocker coming. Watch this, he has to jump off now and boom, that is outstanding. Sticks his face right in his chest, exactly what you need to do. I can't say enough about Monangai. This kid's a legit player. You know what he is as a rusher. He protects things, he sees things, just outstanding.
He's only 26 yards on the ground away from 2,000 in his career here at Rutgers. Right, the left side, nothing there. Solid job by the front of Howard to stack that up right at the line, and it'll be 3rd down and 10.
Nice job over there on that defensive side of the ball. Clogged everything up inside. Terrence Holland, linebacker, did a nice job. I like when it come downhill, and when you come down, you got to be physical. Holland was exactly that.
He's on a lot of watch lists in the FCS, one of the best linebackers in the MEAC. 3rd down and 10 for the Scarlet Knights. Kaliakmanis, 2 of 5, but he's had a drop here in the early going as well. He throws over the middle. It's snapped out of the air for a 1st down. A great grab. Kenny Fletcher, his tight end, took it out of the air.
Yeah, Fletcher should turn around and watch and say thank you to that offensive line. This is exactly what you're going to see. Nobody there. Outstanding job of protection up front. Gives the Kaliakmanis time to be able to throw, and Fletcher is the recipient of that.
Kenny Fletcher, defensive side of the ball, switched over for the bowl prep. He's got the athleticism. They say they love that he's starting to get it. This tight end group coming into the night, 5 career catches among all of them.
Oh, nice throw.
Complete, broken up by Robert Jones III. Chris Long, the intended receiver, coming back from the injury a season ago in the opener.
Yeah, I think Chris Long had to come back to the ball just a little bit because that ball was right there. That was a pretty darn good throw. And again, he's being protected. Yeah, watch this. Your ball's going to come out, right? Oh, that's a nice job of the DB with got his hand over the top. Missed that.
On 2nd and 10, Kaliakmanis keeps it for the 1st time and ahead of steam. 9 more
short
into the secondary, just short of that marker. It'll bring up 3rd down and a half a yard. But they told us yesterday, look, he's not a guy that has a ton of running stats in college, but he's more athletic than you think.
Oh no, he's got the athleticism. He also knows he knows when he has to get down. He knows when he has to get down.
Maybe 4 down territory here for the Scarlet Knights on 3rd and 1 at the Howard 35. You don't need 2 more plays. You got the 1st down with Monungai.
Yeah, that whole left side. Did you see that? The whole left side just moved 5 yards. I mean everything. That's, you're gonna watch Holland Pierce right there, and on that left side, watch. He's just gonna. They just move everybody. That's like stealing right there. That's a nice job on that offensive line.
I was talking to Kirk Shiraki yesterday, giving us the lesson of E equals MC squared.
Oh yeah.
Tell us how that translates to force and how they plan to run the football this year.
They got people at the line of scrimmage. See what they do.
Different running back, Samuel Brown, his 1st carry of the year. He bounces off some tacklers for 4 yards. He's been dealing with a ton of injuries in his Rutgers career, but he's finally healthy. As you said at practice this week, it's a different running back.
Absolutely, he's an impressive runner. When he gets going, that's a big man, and he can run. You got to keep him healthy. He and Monungai in there, that's a 1-2 punch that's as good as anybody in the Big Ten.
Had some injuries here in camp as well, but a bigger running back, over 220 pounds, 6'1", certainly looks different than Monungai. Brown chased down from behind. Kyle Davis, grad transfer from Sacred Heart, coming off the edge to make the tackle. So it'll be 3rd down and 4 for Rutgers here as we're inside of a minute of the opening quarter.
That offensive line is still moving people. There's just let one guy go. That was it. Because that wave was already pushing about 4 yards downfield.
Well, you certainly have the size advantage for Rutgers on the front. You got the experience advantage as well. Team that's expected to run downhill. Young guy back in here on this 3rd down and 4. The 12th play of the drive is a handoff to Monungai, and Gallup came off the edge, and he's short.
Yeah, Kenny Gallup's smart. He's really smart. He kept it tight, nice and tight too. Came off the edge and then shut down. Nice. That's a good football player and a good play.
And it's a play that's going to bring us to the end of the quarter with a 4th and 1 coming up and a decision for Greg Schiano on the other side. Scarlet Knights with a defensive touchdown. It's the offense on the move. It's a new era. And that looks the same for Rutgers fans. Up 7-0 here on Howard.
Welcome back to Piscataway, where the Rutgers Scarlet Knights are up a touchdown after the first quarter. Up Coach Schiano on a pick 6 by Rogers. What do you need to do to get the offense going so they can convert, score some points for you as well here?
And we've kind of we dropped the pass on that 3rd down play. We've had some opportunities. We just got to continue to chop, be consistent with what we do, and we should be able to move the ball. But if you don't, you won't.
Twice early, Scroggins was able to convert on 3rd and long. What are you doing? What are you looking to do to try and slow him down with his legs in those situations?
Well, he's a good athlete. We got to make sure we have somebody on the quarterback run.
Thank you. Good luck. Back to Jason.
All right, Taryn, thank you very much. You see with that, when the defense is back out, but to start the second quarter, Scarlet Knights facing a 4th and 1.
They're bringing the safety down.
No, you're good.
Oh, they bring blitz.
Did bring the blitz, and it got in the backfield. Xavier Rubio, the senior safety, dragged Manungai, and at first glance, that's a 4th down stop.
It's a nice job by that defense. They anticipated it. So what you do is you bring numbers, right? If you're going to get beat off the ball at the line of scrimmage, you got to bring extra guys, and they did just that, brought him off the edge. And this is exactly what he does. The safety comes clean, gets a hit on Manungai. Nice job, good defense. Yeah, that's just good execution.
But it's exactly what Greg Schiano was just talking about to Taryn down on the field, right? Missed opportunities. We talked about the drop pass by Ian Strong. It was in the opening drive, a wide open play down the middle. Would have kept the drive going. Right? Failed to get some points here, so the offense to this point not able to score here in this ballgame. Right. For the 3rd drive for Howard, and it's back to the ground. And there are bodies in the backfield. Right off the snap, and a 2-yard loss.
Nice job getting up the field. Good job of turning it back inside. Yeah, the safety came down as well. That's just a really good job. Moses Walker there, number 2. That's a good read by him.
And he's going to play a totally different role than what he thought maybe 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, how about it?
With the torn ACL to Mohamed Toure, and Irene Powell will be back at some point, but not yet. Scroggins wasn't sure where to go when he out in the open space. And he picks up 16 yards on the ground. So he has done in the offense with his legs. He's up to 42 yards rushing here in the opening half.
Well, that's what Schiano said. You know, you got to get somebody on him. That's exactly what we talked about before. The running quarterback really, most of the time, is unaccounted for. You're going to have to account for him.
And they had a quarterback battle the entire camp. Scroggins with the grad transfer from North Carolina A&T, Zach Yeager. They did not announce their starting quarterback until game day. Scroggins won the battle, and he has moved the offense tonight. Solid tackle in the backfield. DJ Jabome, we're going to hear his name a ton this season, and that's already his 4th tackle.
Jabome has good eyes. Yeah, he believes his eyes. Some linebackers don't believe their eyes. They see things that are going on, and they don't quite trust him. Jabome does a nice job of trusting his eyes.
Scroggins back to the air. Found Isaiah Williams. And another open field tackle. It's short of the 40. Shaq Loyal out in coverage. You pick up 4 yards.
Nice job by Shaq Loyal, right on top of him, right where he had to be. Also a nice ball. Good football all around. Sets up this nice 3rd down. See if we can get a pass rush out of here from Rutgers and see if we can get a big play from the offense.
Now again, that's such a big part here for Scarlet Knights too. The experience in the secondary. You got Longerbeam, Igbenosin, Loyal, Rogers, Flip Dixon not playing tonight, but when he comes back, those are all returning starters for the defense.
That's a strength for them.
On 3rd and long and a timeout taken by the Scarlet Knights defense.
I saw Joe Haramisiak on the sideline jumping up and down like his hair was on fire, so I'm sure he saw something that nobody else saw.
Scarlet Knights leading the Bison 7-0 with a 3rd down coming up. Experience the expanded Big Ten Conference like never before with Big Ten Plus. Stream thousands of non-televised live events across the Big Ten. Enjoy next day game replays for every Big Ten game. Subscribe right now at BigTenPlus.com.
Interesting set right here. So they're going to go spread out wide, but now you have to account for the quarterback's feet. Something they did not do earlier. That's wide open. Oh, they have a spot.
He was trying to set up the screen to the receiver, Hawthorne, and he dumped it right into the turf. Longer beam read it the whole way, and he was right on Hawthorne's hip pocket.
Yeah, nowhere to go with that, and they had the quarterback covered as well. They had a spy on him. They just played a man coverage and took the whole thing away. Nice job by Joe Haramisiak, the defensive coordinator.
And you wonder too, Matt, if that's why you said that maybe he was jumping up and down.
Yeah.
Where'd our spy go?
There's Joe right there with the beard. Well, everybody's got a beard over there.
The bigger one. The bigger beard. So Green on to punt it away. Ooh, almost got there.
That's a Shankadelic.
No question. Rosenblatt lets it bounce, and it checks up right around the 40-yard line. So a 23-yard punt, and Rutgers will be set up with good field position and a 7-0 lead with 12:20 to go here in the 2nd quarter. A staple of Greg Schiano, block punts. They almost added one here in game 1. Now tomorrow, a new era of Big Ten volleyball begins when Oregon hosts Pittsburgh in a top 10 showdown. Then Tuesday, 7th-ranked Penn State and number 6 Louisville. Women's volleyball tomorrow and Tuesday, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. The 10-2 of the top 3 teams with Nebraska and Wisconsin, both right there behind Texas. Here on the opener, the new era of the Big Ten with 18 teams spanning coast to coast. Rutgers leading Howard 7-0 on a defensive touchdown. Callie McManus hits Chris Long on a crosser for about 4 yards. And, you know, Matt, first start for Ethan Callie McManus in a Rutgers uniform. He's 4 of 8, but what you were saying, made some good throws.
Oh, and he has a big drop. He's seeing the field. The ball's coming out well. He's being well protected. He ran the ball pretty well. I think right now he's right where he needs to be. He's on track right here.
Hey, as long as it conserves power.
Build up for the opener here for the Scarlet Knights. 7-6 a year ago. First winning record since 2014. Expectations certainly high, but you got to take care of the first one to worry about the next one. Hand off to Brown, and he's upcut right there one more time. Kenny Gallup, who is all over the field for Howard.
Yeah, I mentioned him before when I said he was a next-level player. Yeah, Kenny Gallup, I had him last year. He was all over the field. He sees things well. He's always in the right position. He's an excellent tackler. Just one of those players you just don't find all the time. That guy, he'll be playing in the NFL.
MEAC Defensive Player of the Year from a season ago, the 4th in Howard history. Well, 3rd and 5 for Callie McManus. The Scarlet Knights 2 of 4 so far tonight on 3rd down. Over the middle, and it's broken up. Long the intended receiver, but again, it's Robert Jones III with great coverage.
Outstanding.
We talked about the secondary for Howard, all experienced players, all conference players, and they're playing like it.
Yeah, watch this. Oh, that is so good coverage. You're on the top side. That is perfect. You stay on his pocket, and then you reach around to the, look at that. That is as good as you're going to find. That's outstanding by Jonesy. I know him really well, right? So I call him Jonesy.
Yeah, he certainly has played well, a 3rd-year starter. So Jacob Anderson to punt it away. His first punt, he pinned inside the 10-yard line. They take this one all the way down to the end of the play clock.
And they called a timeout.
And taking a timeout.
That was a mistake.
That's the second timeout Rutgers has used with the punt team already on the field. We'll step aside. Along with Matt Millen and Taryn Hatcher, Jason Horowitz back with you here at SHI Stadium. 10:50 to go in the second quarter, man. Rutgers already out of timeouts here in the first half. 2 of those taken with the punt team set to punt it away.
Yeah, that was a mistake, but they'll rectify that. It's the first game. It happens.
Anderson angles it again. Fair catch called for and made at the 14-yard line. So a 41-yard punt, no return. Back downstairs to Taryn Hatcher.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned Rutgers using their second timeout. It was Daryl Jumbe that called that timeout. As soon as he did, Greg Schiano started screaming, no, no, and went into that huddle. And seemed like he was talking directly to DJ throughout that entire huddle. So I don't know if it was a miscommunication in the way Rutgers set up or a miscommunication in DJ calling that timeout. But one thing's for certain, Greg Schiano was not happy with that decision, guys.
Yeah.
And you can be sure that he won't call the next timeout.
He was very concerned, and you said, look, Howard, FCS team, and there are 59 FBS versus FCS teams here in this first full weekend of college football, but won their conference each of the last 2 years. They brought a lot of good players back. That running back who was stuck at the 15-yard line.
Somebody stuck him good. Who was that?
That is Jabome, who made the stock stick right on Eaton James.
Well, he gave him a timeout. Now, this is a nice read, but watch the force right here. Boom. Nice. Really well done. Comes in, makes the play. Big hit. Jabome's playing really well here in the first half.
Scroggins can't get away. It's Jabome again. A coming out party here in his start against Howard.
Yeah, he is playing really well. Nice job again. Good job. He's just going to run this thing down from behind. Yeah, it's really well done. Nice job. Just tracks him. Make sure you get him, and he does. Sets up this 3rd and long.
Then again, when you play behind Tyree Powell and Motore the last couple of years, you know, you don't get the chance to be on the field as much. He had 15 tackles last year. He's got 7 tonight. Scroggins into traffic with the screen. And it's Jabome bringing down James short of the 20. It'll set up 4th down.
That's a great series for Jabome. That's three plays, 3 tackles, and you're out.
Could you have responded to the coach telling you not to call timeout any better than that?
That's a good series by Jabome. He just zeroed in. Really well done. I like his physicality, too. I mean, when he shows up, when he's there for the tackle, he lets you know it.
6'2", 240-pound junior out of Quebec. Trying to punt it away. A wobbly boot, and Rosenblatt's going to let it bounce on the turf. Howard might have cost themselves some yards down there. A chance maybe to let that run for Saquon Osborne. Stops it right there at the 45-yard line. DJ Jabome, a name you're going to have to get to know here in the Big Ten. Big Ten football is sponsored by State Farm and by Auto Owners Insurance. A win over Miami in the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. They trailed in the second half, scored 17 unanswered. In bowl games in Greg Schiano's first tenure here. Piscataway was something kind of a staple. They won bowl games in 5 of his last 7 years here at Rutgers, but last year their first in a decade, and it was a big one over Miami at Yankee Stadium.
Well, they're on the right track. They definitely are that. It's an improved football team.
Manungai cuts it to the outside and in space. Manungai gets a block and he's tripped up inside the 20-yard line. He takes it 38 yards and they're in the red zone.
Nice job of running with your eyes. It's designed to go to the inside. There's nothing there. He bounces it to the outside, and he's got lots of green. So he's just going to take advantage the whole time. Nice job. by Manungai's eyes.
How about the freshman, Ben Black, playing his first career college football game downfield, creating a space.
Got a little block up there.
The receiver stays on the field. He's at the bottom of your screen. Fresh set of downs. Manungai's driven back. Xavier Rubio, who's been in the backfield a couple of times, stops him at the line.
Well, they're bringing people. And sometimes they're coming clean, and that's exactly what happens here. Rubio just does a nice job. I mean, if you come clean, you better make the play. He did just that.
Matt with that run for Kyle Manungai down into the red zone. He is now the 16th player in Rutgers school history to go over 2,000 rushing yards. Fantastic career that he's adding on to. On the mark, inside the 10, and Dymere Miller down to the turf. It'll set up a 1st and goal, but all this set up thanks to the run from Manungai.
They're going hurry up.
And they're going fast.
And they jump.
They jump.
Penalty marker down.
Got it. They get fucking to the 6.
David Siegel, our referee, conferring.
The previous ruling of a completed catch is under further review.
Well, they say that officials called from the replay booth to take a look at this before they jumped with a false start.
Because he jumped. Definitely jumped.
But David Siegel said that they were whistled down from the replay booth before to check whether or not this is a catch here by Dymere Miller. Now remember, this is new this year. All replays will be decided at the Big Ten Replay Center in Rosemont. So they whistle it down from the field here, and then they check it in Rosemont, and that is exactly where they will find out whether or not this is a completed catch or not.
They got a brand new Rosemont facility. Isn't it gorgeous? It is. Okay, so there's a catch. He's down with his knees. That's a catch. Yeah, that's a catch.
Well, I think the other thing too, Matt, because where his knees were and where the ball was, did he have the first down? That's the other part, because on that angle, it looked like the ball was around the 7.
Well, if they're saying
the first down marker was at the 6.
Yeah, okay, so that's completely different than if it's a catch.
The receiver completed the catch and was down with the ball short of the line of game. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
He's saying exactly what we just said. It is a completed catch, but he is short of the first down.
For a false start. It'll be 3rd and 1.
So it will be 3rd down here for Rutgers instead of 1st and goal. Larry Scott's wondering why the false start didn't happen before the replay.
About it. Now this is the time when this offensive line has to have power right here. You got to win this push.
Everyone pushing, including Manungai from behind, and they're still pushing. Over there on the side, he looked like that the official from the far sideline came in and where he was going to be a 1st down. Howard's players are putting their 4 fingers up, and no, it is in fact a 1st down.
So this is what you want. It's all about leverage. Low man wins, right? That's football. Kaliak Manis is able to pick up that 1st down, sets up 1st and goal.
Scarlet Knights have scored a touchdown on the defense. The offense trying to get on the board for the first time this season. Keeping the play clock. It's down to 2. What a move by Manungai. He's working his way to the goal line. And he's just short at the 1. He turned a play that should have been a loss into a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, he jumped that little jump cut right there at the start of his run and was able to bounce back outside because the inside was taken away. Really well done. Now, this is all with vision, too. Boom, right there. And then he has the power to be able to run through a tackle, get it down to about the, 2-yard line, 1.5 maybe. He's tough. He reminds me so much of Isaiah Pacheco, his former teammate here a couple years ago. He's now in Kansas City, but outstanding run.
Well, it's the yards after contact that always gets you, too. He gets the ball again. He bounces off of 1 and cannot get there.
Good hit.
Holland made the first hit. Gallup came in to clean it up, and it'll be 3rd down and goal.
That's a nice job, Holland. You know, watch this right here. And nobody's on him, so he has to make that hit, right? He's clean. Clean man's got to take the shot, and he does. Really well done.
Matt, are you thinking 2 plays in the end zone here from the 2?
I would.
And remember, Rutgers does not have any timeouts left. They took their final timeout of the first half with 10:50 to go. Kaliak-Manis to the air. Has Dymere Miller trying to get to the end zone. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights. The FCS All-American with his first touchdown for Rutgers.
It was his second effort that got it. Nice job. He ran through that tackler and then dove over the top, and that effort at the end was the difference in the play. You're gonna watch it right here. There's the catch. He's gonna boom, he's hit. Do you see how that second effort, the second effort is the difference in the play right there. Instead of going down, he jumps over the top of him. Really well done.
He led the FCS last year in receiving yards, was number 2 in receptions, and he puts the Scarlet Knights offense on the board for the first time. Patel adds the extra point. Ethan Kaliak-Manis has his first Rutgers touchdown pass. Now, Ethan Kaliak-Manis, 14 touchdowns a season ago, passing for the Golden Gophers. He's had some nice balls here, and he just threw his first Rutgers touchdown to Dymere Miller.
I'm going to just tell you, just a casual observation, just watching it. I've watched some of their practices, camp, and I've watched them last year a bunch, and have them right here, right now. Right now, Kaliak-Manis is the difference in this offense. They can make some completions that a year ago they struggled doing. He's been pretty darn good here tonight. Not spectacular, but accurate, and that's all you need.
Coming short of the goal line, and it's the freshman Reagan coming out and will not get back out to the 25. So that's where Howard will start once again. Well, Saturday, it is a huge slate of action on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. A 6-game quadruple header featuring the Big Ten debuts for Oregon and Washington. Go to btn.com/gamefinder for channel locations in your area. Day gets going again on Purdue's campus at 10 a.m. Eastern. Looking forward to that all the way through the night on the West Coast. Don't forget, coming up when we are done tonight, Illinois and Eastern Illinois right here on the Big Ten Network. Call this a very enjoyable long weekend of college football, Matt. They were lining up with a Wildcat, Casey Hawthorne, but flags blow this dead early.
Ball start, offense, number 50. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You can see the right guard there, Jamal Hines, number 50. He jumps the gun a little bit.
Now, Larry Scott's team, just 77 yards of offense here in the first half, and Matt Scroggins with his legs, who's now back on the field, has been most of it. Pick up the penalty yards with a 5-yard run. Jayshon Scroggins has 42 yards rushing in his first career start.
See Patel come up with a nice...
Yeah, Timmy Hines, Peter, backup linebacker.
Different numbers. That's a nice job by him. You're unblocked, you got to make the play.
He's working inside with Jabome as the 2 linebackers. And they're all unblocked into the backfield. Aaron Lewis got off the ball fast and drove him to the turf. Now, Matt, they are hoping that the 5th-year senior can have a massive season here. He's having a good night.
Yeah, that's you put the tackle in a bad position, right? So they had to block 2 guys. So he got a push on Lewis, and then Lewis just ran right through it and made the play and sets up this 3rd and long.
trying to get outside the pocket. He's got Hamilton giving chase. What a grab!
Great catch.
Isaiah Williams completely horizontal to make that grab.
Great effort. Great effort. Great catch. He's just throwing this. This is really well done. So he has the guys underneath. He's going to take a shot down the field.
They go quick to Illarazza to try to get to the outside, but Matt, that is a massive play in this game. And nice catch because they were about to give Rutgers the ball back on 4th down, already up 14-0. That is an unbelievable grab.
That's a nice catch. Really well done. And if he didn't catch it, the guy behind him was about to.
Isaiah Williams, grad transfer from Central Connecticut State. Larry Scott said, look, you can tell from the first practice he stepped foot on the field that he could be a difference maker this year. The country just saw why. 2:35 to go here. Quarter number 2. Scroggins taking a shot, looking for Williams.
Flag.
There's a flag right when he threw the football. And Rogers was in good coverage. Scroggins got hit. Question is, was it late? Was it to the head?
Personal foul. Right from the passer. Defense, number 71. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
That's Aaron Lewis. Let's see what they get him on. Here comes Aaron from the backside, and I'm waiting for the foul. Maybe helmet to helmet. Maybe that's what they called.
Well, a passer throwing the ball. Defenseless, but either way here, 15 yards. Scroggins keeps it himself. He picks up another 6 yards. And so you go back to that catch map by Isaiah Williams and how big that might be for Howard here.
Oh, yeah.
As they're trying to, remember, they get the football to start the 3rd quarter, too. As we approach 2 minutes here in the 2nd quarter, remember this, the first year that college football is going to a 2-minute timeout, right? 2 minutes, the 2nd quarter and the 4th quarter, and we have reached it. It is the 2-minute timeout. Howard and Larry Scott on the move. Out of the 2-minute timeout, Jay-Sean Scroggins in his first career start for Howard as the Bison set up at the Rutgers 31-yard line on a 2nd and 5, and the handoff to the receiver. It's Isaiah Williams trying to get the first. He can't get there. Solid tackle, Kaj Sanders, the true freshman, starting at safety for the injured Flip Dixon.
Yeah,
it'll be 3rd and short.
3rd and short, under a yard or a yard. Now, you also have to account for the quarterback's feet right here.
And he gives it to James, has the big hole. Aiden James through the secondary and down at the 11-yard line.
That's nice running by James. Ran through some tackles, made a guy miss. Sets up 1st and goal. Just good running. Nice cut to the backside here. Then there's one tackle.
Well, if you're Howard Jr. thinking strategy, the Bison still have 2 timeouts left. We get the ball to start the 3rd quarter. Scroggins with his legs inside the 5. Jack Loyal making the stop. And Matt, to that point, Rutgers doesn't have any timeouts left. Howard obviously wants the end zone, but they want to score with as little time as possible.
Right, exactly. Well, they're going to go to this hurry up. Still have to account for the quarterback's feet.
Kept it himself, and he's hit off the edge. Jabome having one whale of a first half. He's approaching double-digit tackles in the first half alone. And a timeout taken by Howard with a 3rd down coming up. And a crucial play for Howard. Take a 30-second timeout here. Out of the timeout, Matt, 3rd down and 1. Maybe looking at 2 plays for Howard to try to put one in the end zone.
Yeah, absolutely. And you got to use the quarterback's feet right here. Spread things out, make everybody move. to the outside and then come back to the inside. Here he goes.
Gives it to Eden James. Up the middle.
They just
touchdown, Howard.
They just powered it in. Just pure power. Got them on their heels and blew them out inside. Nice job. Really well done.
Edger and James looking on for the sideline. Eden James puts one in to keep Howard right in this ball game.
Yeah, they just won on power right there. Man to man. Really well done. Got to attack that line of scrimmage, and they do it.
Matt Howard had 44 yards of offense in the first 4 drives. 78 yards on that drive. The kick is up and through for Dylan West. And it all goes back to that unbelievable catch, and they cap it off too. And as Greg Schiano told Taryn coming out of the first quarter, they have to figure out a way to control Scroggins and his legs, and they have not been able to do that yet.
And also, to be honest with you, they're winning the line of scrimmage. They're beating that defensive front, which is kind of surprising to me. I think this defense has been pretty good at anchoring down and being physical. But right now, I'm watching this offensive line from Howard getting after him pretty well.
Joe Harris-Simiak, the defensive coordinator, former FCS head coach himself. The head coach at Maine, was the coach of the year in the FCS before going to Minnesota to take on a coordinator role and then coming to Rutgers. But they will have to figure out what to do with the ground game, and they have done pretty well, including a touchdown themselves. The Rutgers opening score was an Eric Rogers pick 6. We got a ball game here, Matt, with 40 seconds to go. And
I don't think anybody expected this. I think people expected a high-scoring game. I don't think you're going to get that. You're obviously not getting that. But I'm impressed. Larry Scott's done a nice job with this group. Done a nice job with his offense.
Well, and if you're Rutgers too, Matt, obviously depends on the kickoff. But 40 seconds to go before halftime. No timeouts. Howard gets the ball to start the second half. Be interesting to see how aggressive they may play this. That's with a short kickoff. It's fielded by the up man, tight end, who a fair catch. That was Mike Higgins. So the fair catch there at the 21. It will bring it out to the 25-yard line. And how'd you play this with 38 seconds to go here and no timeouts?
Yeah, I think what you have to be able to do, so they're going to play it safe. Run the football, get out the clock, go to the second half. Coach Schiano not too happy about whatever happened.
Well, because that fair catch was called outside of the 20-yard line at the spot. Remember, fair catch in college football, you bring it out to the 25. Outside the 20. So 40 seconds to go. They put those 2 seconds back on the clock, and again, no timeouts for Ethan Callahan-McManus, who's 6 of 11 for 47 yards and a touchdown pass. Hand it off to Monungai as a whole, as the first down, and a late flag comes in from the near sideline. Now, it would have been a 15-yard run, but we have to check the marker.
No, it's going to go against Rutgers.
Looked like a hold on the outside by one of the receivers.
Holding. Offense, number 69. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
That's Kwabena Asamoah, the starting right guard.
That's pretty far downfield. You're going to see him. He's to the left side of your screen there. He gave it. That's the wrong guy.
Touch anybody, let alone hold anybody.
Yeah.
And it's
he's
to that guy, and he's through the hole. That might change the strategy as he's shoved out of bounds right around midfield.
Ooh, a flag's dropped, and Monungai's got somebody in his face talking to him.
Oh man, it looked like he was hit late, and then you had the jawing on the sideline as well after he had broke off a 30-yard run. So you go from thinking you're going to go into the locker room up 14-7, and all of a sudden you go into field goal range.
Yeah, how about it? You got a chance right now. The only problem is you don't have any timeouts.
After the play, personal foul, laid it out of bounds. Defense, number 11, 15 yards, first down.
That is Kedrick Green.
He pops this thing, and he's off to the races right here. Oh, yeah, he hit him out of bounds.
He was pumped up about it, too. Got out of bounds, penalty. So the clock stopped with 20 seconds. Remember, inside of 2 minutes because of first downs. Like the old college football, the clock will stop. The move to change. Kaliakmanis trying to go to the air. Has an open receiver. And Miller's inside the 20 with a first down.
And they got to hurry it up. And are they gonna clock it? They're back to the line of scrimmage, waiting on the official.
Clock stops for the first down. And they do clock it with 11 seconds on the Howard 18-yard line.
So I'd take a shot right here to the end zone. And if it's incomplete, then you kick the field goal.
Call the timeout. This will be the third and final of the half. 30-second timeout. Please adjust the game clock to 12 seconds.
Oh, nice. Just a nice route. Nice. The ball's right where it has to be. That's a huge difference from a year ago.
And Nathan Kaliakmanis is a go-to receiver. Damier Miller's got 4 grabs and a touchdown here in this opening half.
And he's been protected pretty darn well. So he's comfortable in the pocket.
Well, to your point, though, 12 seconds to go, no timeouts. You're on the 18-yard line.
You have to go to the end zone here. Take a shot. And if you don't happen, then you can kick a field goal. So you're going to run down about probably maybe 7 seconds.
Ian Strong's the tallest of the receivers. He's at the top of your screen. Howard showing blitz. Here they come. Kaliakmanis said he got rid of it. Yep. He wanted to get rid of that football. So now with 8 seconds to go, you can take one more shot.
You can still take a shot. It can't be a longer play, so you're going to have to. Looks like they.
Yeah, might go for the field goal.
He's going to kick it. At 8 seconds, yeah, you're going to have to. But hey, this is 3 points they didn't think they'd get. That's a nice job of that offense bringing that ball back.
Yeah, backed up on the 21-yard line with 40 seconds, no timeouts. Then after the penalty, beyond that, Kyle Monungai put him in position and a penalty. So Jai Patel, who was 15 of 18 last year with a 36-yard field goal attempt. It is up and good. So maybe a momentum-changing drive for Greg Schiano, thanks to Kyle Monungai. Greg Schiano's got 3 extra points here right before halftime and a 17-7 lead. With 4 seconds to go, both teams out of timeouts.
They've been riding Monungai. Well, he's got, what does he have now? $125 maybe?
124 like yards on 14 carries.
There you go. The offensive line has done a nice job protecting Kaliakmanis. Kaliakmanis he's been efficient. And I think that's, at the bare minimum, that's what they needed.
Short kickoff and a fair catch called for, made by Reagan at the 18-yard line. And your point about Kyle Monungai, you talked about him coming into this game. Yes, a new quarterback, but the same running game. And that running game with that offensive line has been put on display, and he has burst for some large plays here in the half.
Oh, yeah. He's good vision, right? And he believes his eyes. Really well done. And he's powerful. Catches the ball well. He's a complete back. I just keep on going back to the same guy. I'm a huge fan of Pacheco. I think he's one of the best backs in the NFL. And this guy reminds me a lot of him.
Well, he had a half where he's well on his way to a career high that he set last year against Temple. He's already over 100 yards here in the half. And he's going to lead Rutgers back into the locker room with a 10-point advantage. He's been great. And Jabome on the other side. Downstairs to Taryn with Greg Schiano.
Greg, Howard makes it a one-touchdown game with 40 seconds remaining, but what do you like about the way your team responded offensively to salvage a punt out of that, or excuse me, a field goal out of that?
Yeah, that's what we do. We chop. No matter the situation, you got to go out and chop your job. I didn't really, we've done some really knucklehead things, and if we keep doing that, we're going to be in trouble. We got to stop. We got to start playing our brand of football.
We know how explosive Kyle Monangai can be, but 163 yards in this first half. He's just 2 yards off of matching his career high in a game. What can you say about what he's been able to do to carry this offense today?
He's running the ball hard. He's done that all training camp. We need to make sure that we keep running it. I think Ethan's throwing it well. We just got to run our offense and stop shooting ourselves in the foot.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
Jason, back to you.
All right, Taryn, thank you very much. Yeah, a whale of a half for Kyle Monangai. He's about 40 yards away from that 166 career high. 17-7, Rutgers has the lead over Howard in the opener of this new season in the new Big Ten. Dave Revson, Howard Griffith, coming up with the halftime report when we return.
Rutgers' first points of the season coming from the defense. Little Schiano ball for you. Eric Rogers, the pick six. Got Rutgers on the scoreboard. They're on top 17-7 at the break on Howard. And speaking of Howard, he's sitting next to me. Dave Revson, Howard Griffith with you. 10-point game. Yep. Hasn't been a great offensive performance so far for Rutgers. Have to feel good about that last drive and getting some points out of it. Defense was really solid, Howard, until the Bison ran down the field and scored on them late. What do you take from everything you've seen?
I think one of the things, and you heard Coach Schiano talk about this, there's some plays that are being made defensively where they were out of position that they were able, Howard was able to keep drives alive with the quarterback run. That's something that they have to take care of. You look offensively, they've been able to run the ball and been consistent there, but there were some times where maybe Ethan could have given it or kept it instead of giving it. So I think as he continues to get more comfortable with the read option, things will work out.
Yeah, you can't blame him for handing it off to Kyle Monangai.
I would, right?
He's pretty good, right? I mean, if that guy is an option, but as you say, on those reads, there's a right read and there's a wrong read. You've got to make the right read. What did you think of him throwing the ball? They didn't throw it a ton. Yeah. We talked in the pregame. They were about 62% run a year ago. They're 59% run in the first half here.
Had a drop.
Yeah, yes, he did have a drop. Yeah, a strong drop one. What did you think, though?
I think he's being efficient. I think early on they made some easy throws for him to be able to complete, to get those completions. So they have to keep at it. This is not going to be an overnight transition for him. He's not going to go from a 50+% passer to all of a sudden an 85% passer. This is going to grow each and every week, and he just has to continue to get better now looking toward the second half of this game.
13 pass attempts, 63 yards. So not exactly lighting the world on fire through the air, but as you say, it is a process. They're on top by 10, and as Greg Schiano said,
and you just mentioned it too.
Yeah, a lot of things that you can work on heading into the locker room. We got lots more to come here as we continue on our halftime. We'll get you set for the later games. Brett Bielema, the Fighting Illini in action, as are the Gophers. Our thoughts on both of those teams as they kick off the season tonight. Next. It is halftime in Piscataway, game 1 of 2 tonight here on the Big Ten Network. We got the Fighting Illini kicking off their season next against Eastern Illinois. That one comes your way at 9 p.m. Eastern time. A couple schools separated by 45 miles, just the third time they will ever play on the gridiron. And Howard, Illinois, coming off a 5-win year last year, obviously want to be better here under Brett Bielema. What are you watching here tonight that might give you some indication as to whether they will be?
Well, I know there's a lot to be talked about on the offensive side, but for me, it's the defensive. You want to see the defensive growth that they've had on that side. It's going to be important that they're sound, that they're not giving up the big plays down the field, that they don't have a lot of missed tackles. Some of the things that you don't get a lot of time to tackle in training camp. A lot of teams try to stay away from that. You want to see them play a clean game, no penalties, and that sort of thing.
A team that was first in the nation in scoring defense defense 2 years ago, fell to 93rd last year. So we'll see whether or not they can get back to playing the kind of defense that they played in 2022 when they had a really outstanding season. How about Minnesota? Also coming off a year where they finished under 500. They're taking on North Carolina. They will be without Darius Taylor. That injury report has come out. Taylor, who was injury prone, as we know, a season ago, was injured in camp, so he is out for this game. Howard, how does that change things for the Gophers?
One of the things I've always liked and appreciated about what Minnesota's been able to do is the way they've developed that offensive line. And really, I thought this was one of the best that they have this upcoming year. So there'll be some guys that are going to get opportunities to carry the football. They'll have to take advantage of it because this is a talented offensive line that are going to be able to really keep the quarterback clean and be able to open some holes for the running game.
And one of the things that they did was they went out and went into the transfer portal and got some backs. We saw C.A. Bangura, who was a really good running back at Ohio University. We saw him in camp. He was impressive. But now all of a sudden, Max Brosmer, maybe you have to throw the ball a little bit more. Transfer from New Hampshire. Tell people a little bit about him.
I think he's got to be able to step up and make the throws that he's expected to make. He hasn't seen anything, as we talked earlier in the show. It's not any defenses that he's going to see that he's not familiar with. So being smart with the football will be imperative for him to really show that leadership. They talked about him being a coach on the field. We'll need to see some of that this evening.
Remember, they lost to North Carolina in Chapel Hill. There's a significant difference between that team and this team. No Drake May. They don't need to worry about him. Gophers defense wasn't great last year either, so maybe a little bit of a sigh of relief from there. This is amazing. This is the first time they've hosted an ACC team since 1968.
Ooh, 68.
Wake Forest. This is the second time ever for Minnesota. You'd think it would have happened a little more frequently.
Yeah, right? I think they just need to take care of business tonight.
They do. And make ACC teams fear going to Minneapolis. A lot of teams feared Dymere Miller last year. He lit it up at Monmouth and picking up right where he left off. His first FBS TD, 17-7 Rutgers. Getting set for half number 2 in Piscataway. Cal Monungai already 124 rushing yards, the most in a half in his career. His team on top 17-7, second half coming up.
Tonight's Big Impact Research brings us to New Brunswick, where engineering professor Jay Gong and a team of students are using a suite of sophisticated 3D mapping tools and a robot dog to model and learn the environment of the Zimmerli Art Museum, inside and out. This allows the public to simply open the laptops and explore its galleries online, as well as making the museum accessible to all. Their goal is to digitally map the entire campus and beyond, expanding our understanding of our environment while making it more inclusive. And the Rutgers band included the Howard band here at halftime as we welcome you back inside SHI Stadium. 17-7, Scarlet Knights had the lead, but nice performance from the two bands here at halftime. Take a listen. Waves from coast to coast now in the Big Ten, right? Atlantic Ocean all the way to the Pacific. Absolutely. Jason Horowitz, Matt Millen, Taryn Hatcher. We'll get to her down on the field in a moment. Matt, 17-7. Howard was within a touchdown, but Kyle Monungai's 39-yard run got them the field goal and a 10-point lead. He had a special first half.
Yeah, he's had an excellent first half, and they need to rely on him. We said that at the start of the game, and it's going to have to do the same exact thing into the second half. Monungai's legs and his vision and his ability to be able to run physically tough like he has been the difference in this game. That and Kaliak Manis has played pretty darn well. He's been accurate with the football. They've been making throws that they weren't making a year ago, and it's made a difference. First half check-in sponsored by Allstate. You're in good hands with Allstate. They went over 200 yards on that final drive. They did give up over 74 yards, Matt, on the Howard last drive, and they're going to have to do something about stopping Jay-Sean Scroggins, redshirt sophomore in his first career start, with his legs.
very effective for Howard.
Exactly, and so we've been talking about that in the first half and saying you got to get somebody on them, and they'll do that. I mean, Greg Schiano knows it. He knew it before the game started, so they just have to get the job done.
You know, those passing yard stats there, Matt, 47 for Howard, 63 for Rutgers. Nothing about that, if you just look at it, stands out, especially knowing what Rutgers has struggled with in the passing game before. But you have said that the accuracy has been a different story.
Oh, completely different. Yeah, just thinking back to last year, they were not very accurate with the football, and now they are.
Jack Scullione to kick it away again. Anthony Reagan's going to let it go into the end zone, and this will come out to the 25-yard line to start this third quarter. Now, Matt, you came into this game knowing that their running game is big. Jayshon Scroggins was the unknown. What have you liked so far?
Well, I like what he's doing. I like the fact that he has been able to get loose. He's been able to kind of dictate what he wants to do with his feet. And so Rutgers is going to have to account for his feet, 100%.
12 career passes coming into this game. Last year, all of those. He takes over for a 4-year starter in Quentin Williams, who had been the quarterback for Larry Scott in his entire career coaching at Howard. Turning the table, and here they are handing the ball off with a solid hole. Jared Hunter on his first carry in the second half takes it out past the 40 on a 16-yard run.
Nice job by Jared Hunter. Again, good patience, and then when he sees the hole, like here, there's the mesh, boom, into the second level. That's just really well done. Yeah, so he's going to read that. He reads that. He's got to put it on his hip. Actually, he's got to get it in deeper than that.
Hawkins to the air, across his body. Nice ball. Casey Hawthorne to the turf, and in 2 plays, just like that, Howard across midfield.
In Rutgers territory, this is a simple route. He's inside out. He's got leverage. He knows where the ball's going to be. It's a good catch.
Oh, the other part to that too, Matt, Howard, 2 best playmakers coming into the game. You think about Jared Hunter, the preseason MEAC Offensive Player of the Year, and then their best receiver, Casey Hawthorne. Neither of them able to do anything in the first half. Lewis wraps up Scroggins after a gain of 2, but on the first 2 plays, they both got touches.
Yeah, guess who else is in that again? Jabomi. He's picking up right where he left off in the first half.
And he's got 9 tackles here in the bowl game. Aaron Lewis was in on that as well. Back in the belly of Scott. And he's back in the arms of Jabome.
Yep. He's having himself a heck of a football night tonight. He's seeing everything. You can see he's just going to flow and now attack. That's just really well done.
Well, you know, the funny thing is you always talk about a spy on the quarterback, right? You're always thinking about that one, a guy who can run. They're going to need one of the offensive line to make sure they're getting to the second level on number 28.
Yeah, it's not that easy. They do a nice job of keeping him free. That's one of the reasons that he's able to get to the ball so well.
3rd and long, an empty set. Scroggins trying to use his legs. Got past Malcolm Ray, but Kaj Sanders makes the stop about 3 yards shy of the marker. And if you're Larry Scott here, it's too long for a field goal. It's early in the third quarter.
I'd do it. I'd go for it right here. Your defense has been pretty good, and your offense, I'm thinking I could get this.
They are keeping the offense on the field.
Get to the edge.
A massive play here early in the third quarter. They bring a blitz. Scroggins backpedaling and backpedaling. It's caught, but a beautiful play in the secondary. Desmond Igbinosun was right on the receiver, and he brought him down for a 4th down stop.
Yep, that's outstanding coverage. Igbinosun was right exactly where he had to be, gave him no room whatsoever, made the tackle immediately, and that's the difference in the play. Got some pressure, ball comes out, Igbinosun right on top of it, makes the play.
Now, this is the third year Rutgers defensive coordinator Joe Harris-Simiak has been in control of this defense, and you look at where they were over the last couple of years, Matt, and the improvements they've made, and with the experience they brought back this year too, they think they can even take another step this season too.
And they have the ability to be able to do that. Tonight, they've not been sharp tonight. Although you got to credit on the other side, you know. Howard's done a nice job offensively.
They have come up with some big plays, including that fourth down stop. The fake, the throw, and Fletcher is chopped down in open field.
Well, you'll take that. There's 6 yards right away. 2nd and 4. I'd like to see, right now, I'd like to see Kaliak Manis just get into some kind of a rhythm. Throw the football, keep moving the ball down the field.
He was 7 of 13 passing in the opening half. Had a couple of drops in the first half too, and a touchdown to Damier Miller. Give to Manungai, trying the middle. He breaks to the outside and almost sprung that for a first down.
Bounced it to the outside. It's going to set up this 3rd and about a yard and a half maybe. They're going hurry up offense. See what they do before they can line up. Gallup is getting everybody set on the other side of the ball.
Gives it to Manungai again. Gallup met him in the hole.
It's going to be right foot, left foot. If it's a left foot, it's a first down. If it's a right foot, it's not.
Well, we talked about Jabome for Rutgers. That is the 9th tackle tonight for Kenny Gallup, the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year. And they're going to stop this for a measurement.
That looks like he's short.
Yeah, a little bit. Now, a lot of the new things, Matt, coming to college football this year, like the tablets on the sideline, communication from upstairs to the players on the field, we do not have that replay system that they're trying out in the NFL yet for the markers on third down.
They'll get there. I'll tell you, that Gallup is fun to watch.
Yeah. They use those replay at the U.S. Open where you go, ooh.
That's the first.
Right there. "16 carries tonight for Kyle Manungai, who had 124 yards on the ground in the opening half. The left side with Manungai. Keeps those legs churning. He's still running. He is breaking tackles left and right, and he picked up another 16 yards.
He's got outstanding balance. He takes a hit, he just keeps on going. Got a player down, but I want you to watch how he finishes this run. There's the cut up inside. Watch the balance right here, and just power right through. Really well done.
An injured player for Howard right towards the end of that tackle. And so while the Howard training staff attends to the injured player, we will step aside. Well, still to come, the doubleheader continues when the Fighting Illini square off with Eastern Illinois. Action kicks off at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Mark Followell, Jay Lehman will have the call when we are done here. Reggie Reed was able to walk off under his own power. Good to see that for Howard. All of this on a night where Kyle Manungai has 145 yards on 17 carries. On a night where he became the 16th player in Rutgers history to top 2,000 for a career on the ground. Back to Manungai again. And the big hole. Manungai maneuvering through the secondary, and he's inside the 20 and 13 more.
That's a nice job up front, and a nice job by the quarterback, Kaliak Manis, in getting them to this play. They brought a blitz from the left side, and they ran away from it, and they did that at the line of scrimmage. So he saw something to be able to make that move. You can see he's coming from the edge. Manungai just gets out to the right side, and he's off to the races. Good job.
Rutgers 40 yards on this drive, 36 of those with the legs of Monungai. Kaliakmanis to the air, nice fake. Kenny Fletcher snuck out of there, reaching for the pylon, and he's out of bounds inside the 5. The converted defensive lineman almost had his touchdown here in 2024.
This is what I like to see out of Kaliakmanis. Stay in control of this offense. Just run the football, throw short underneath. I mean, just take what they give you. That's all you have to do.
Whistles and a stoppage here.
Previous play is under further review.
And so we will get a replay here to see where he stepped out of bounds. They marked him down at the 4-yard line.
Coach Schiano said to Taryn at halftime that they were making a bunch of mistakes. Let's take a look right there. He's out.
Maybe
right
where's the ball? Maybe around the 7-yard line.
7.5.
Yeah. Depends how big your shoe is.
Yeah, good point. How wide your shoe is.
Now, there's no question that they will move this ball back here. But either way, Matt, you know, the tight end position group here for Rutgers coming into this season was a little bit of an unknown. Kenny Fletcher's played well tonight. He's got 3 grabs as the starting tight end.
Yeah, and I think they do a nice job with tight ends here. I think Penn State's another school that does a nice job with the tight ends. But they get them blocking. I think that I'm always impressed when I come here and watch them to see how they're training these kids.
Certainly brought a lot of athleticism. You're David Siegel.
After further review, the runner stepped out of bounds with the ball at the 7.5-yard line. It is still a first down. It'll be first and goal at the 7.5.
When you think about this third quarter, Howard got the ball to start the third quarter. 2 plays was into Rutgers territory. But then a 4th down stop by the Scarlet Knights. A drive here on the legs of Kyle Monungai. And an opportunity to really put some distance here midway through the third quarter.
A score here is a huge difference, right? You go up, if you're up 24-7, that's a completely different ballgame.
Monungai is 7 yards away from tying a single-game career high. They're just outside the 7-yard line. Kaliakmanis throws it to Monungai, and he's brought down in open space. Carson Hinton with a nice tackle, and he's still down. And he's calling immediately for the training staff.
Well, you can see how he's holding that right shoulder. That's probably where he hit him. Monungai is pretty thick.
They're looking at that right side of the body.
Yeah, right on the quad.
And immediately, Matt, he
exactly.
shows with the left hand.
Yep.
So as they look at one of their veterans in the defensive backfield, we'll step aside with 8:18 to go in the third. Carson Hinton, the senior defensive back from Detroit, jogged to the sideline on his own. He was able to try and move his arms a little bit as he was jogging over, and they're working off what they were looking at was his right shoulder on the field. They're trying to get him to lift his arms, Matt. But a solid tackle on Kyle Monungai.
Yeah, probably just a stinger, usually what happens. You can see they're checking his range of motion right now. Looks like he's pretty good.
Go out of the timeout, 2nd and goal. The give, up the middle, the cut, the touchdown! Kyle Monungai into the end zone!
Nice job on the right side of that offensive line. That was the difference in the play. They moved that defensive line, they moved them back at least 2 yards and then just buried them. And Monungai, with the vision and a nice cut back to the inside. Watch the right side. Look at that. Oh, that's really well done. Look at that. I mean, you can't draw it up any nicer than that.
You said the tight ends, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Become great blockers. That's a converted defensive end with a great block, Kenny Fletcher. And Monungai capped off an 8-play drive He put together a lot on his own. Patel's extra point is up and through. And 24-7 with that touchdown. Cali McManus is leading an offense that looks pretty good and putting it together, but Kyle Monangai has tied his career high with 165 yards in this ballgame.
Yeah, he's poised to have a great year. I mean, he's had a great offseason, done everything right, everything you asked him to do. The difference in this team this year, the difference is going to be he's going to have Sam Brown to help him, number one, and he's also going to have Cali McManus to be able to be consistent.
Well, remember what he's coming off of, too, right? Led the Big Ten in
Yep.
rushing yards, and it's the yards after contact and broken tackles that everyone always talks about. But, man, again, there's a reason he got some votes in Chicago when everyone was there for Big Ten Media Day for Offensive Player of the Year in this conference.
Yeah, absolutely, and deservedly so. He's got toughness. He's powerful. He's got good balance. He's got everything you want. They just need to keep him healthy.
He has had some massive plays here in this ballgame. And again, the Rutgers offense kind of got off to a little slow start. Not so much of moving the ball, but making some mistakes. Right at fourth down, they couldn't convert a drop ball on a third and long. But the last couple of drives, Matt, they have started to put together 120 yards and a couple of scores. Squib, and it is recovered by Howard. 4 different players jump on it inside the 20-yard line. Now let's take a look at today's Quick Clips, brought to you by Sport Clips. That's the guy we're talking about there, Kyle Monangai.
Well, Monangai got off to an early start, and he hasn't stopped. He's been able to break tackles. He's been able to catch the ball well out of the backfield. His vision has been outstanding. He's been everything you've needed a back to be, and he's done it all tonight.
Getting that conversation there with Samuel Brown as well. The freshman Antoine Raymond, the 21, he's in that picture too. They think their running back group is very deep here this season. And a flag flies. Don't think they got that off.
Number 1, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, you were there last year when Howard went to Northwestern, man. Again, Northwestern at the beginning of the season, and when they finished the year 8-5, very different ball club.
Absolutely.
But Howard trailed by 16 points and came back. Only lost by 3. Scroggins dumped it off to Ilaraza. Big Benosin on the tackle along with Moses Walker. But they're going to need to get going a little bit faster here to get back in this ballgame.
Yeah, they're going to have to pick the pace up. You know, I said this earlier, and I'll repeat myself. This is a very, very well-coached football team. They understand situations. They understand, you know, all the down and distance, all that kind of stuff. This is just a good football team and well coached. So I don't think they're going to have to worry too much going forward in the season.
They've certainly shown that they've got something with Scroggins, who's taking a deep shot for his own tight end, and it's incomplete. Great coverage. Kaj Sanders, the true freshman out of Bergen Catholic, product of Newark, and he was step for step with the tight end.
Right on top of him, exactly where you want him to be.
Matt, you know, Kaj Sanders getting the start tonight because Flip Dixon is out, but it has not happened since Greg Schiano returned here to Rutgers, where he has started a true freshman on opening night until tonight when Kaj Sanders got the start.
Yeah, so those are some big shoes to step into.
Certainly flash. They think has a massive future. On 3rd and long, Rutgers brings a blitz. Scroggins to the air, and miscommunication with Hawthorne.
Yeah, that was a mess up. Somebody messed up a route right there.
So the Scarlet Knights, the touchdown, and then a quick 3 and out, and they go to the sideline. Dremel back deep to receive again for Rutgers. They've really had a chance yet to get his hands on one tonight. fair catch at the 42-yard line. So a 39-yard punt, nothing on the return. Rutgers in control here in the second half, thanks to Kyle Monangai and a career night here on opening night. Now, last year, Rutgers set its most offensive yards rushing since 2007, and sure, Kyle Monangai gets a ton of the credit, but Matt, the offensive line is a chorus, and that group is back for one more dance this year, almost in full.
Yeah, that left side in particular, you got Holland Pierce 72 and Brian Felter 65, Zelinkus on the inside 59. When they are looking for the tough yards, that's the side they like to run to. I think this group has taken a step forward under Pat Flaherty, the offensive line coach.
It takes time for an offensive line to gel, right? Because everything has to be in unison.
Yeah, absolutely.
Howard comes with a blitz. Kaliak-Manis with pressure off his back foot. He had an open Miller. He didn't really have time to see him coming across the field.
It was a slow developing route because he has to come from the other side of the field. And so he's got to be able to have some time there. But they brought some pressure to the inside, so he just let it go.
Aaron's Holland, the one that knocked him to the turf.
Holland's played pretty good here tonight.
Yeah. And you highlighted that coming to the game, right? Yeah. Good linebackers, solid safety, and Ken Gallup. Howard looks like it's bringing pressure again. Hand off to Samuel Brown, who bounces off the tackler. Gets forward maybe for an extra yard.
It'd be nice to see Sam Brown get into some kind of rhythm here and start to get moving. Another outstanding player. He has the ability for big plays. He's got good speed. He's got toughness. He kind of runs a little high sometimes, but when he has to, he lowers his shoulders pretty good.
And also two different running styles, right? So that changes things for the defense too. They're down at 6. Scarlet Knights tonight, 5 of 8 on third down. To the ground. Brown cut the hole, and he's right there at the marker. Maybe a half-yard short.
Yeah, he's short. Yeah, so what do you do here? I would trust my defense, and I'd try to go for it. Just bury him.
Go for it here on 4th and inches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here comes some big bodies.
Which is what they're doing. Extra offensive linemen onto the field. Taj White, Dante Chin, 2 extra bodies for the push. They need almost a full yard on 4th down. They push Kaliak-Manis, and it looks like he's got the spot. You know, Matt, so much attention paid to that play, right, in the NFL and this offseason, whether or not they would outlaw that play. They haven't. What do you think? Which is obviously a big part all over football now.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of the game now. This is what it is. And every now and then, they don't get it. But for the most part, low man wins, and you just keep on pushing, don't stop.
Yeah. Made famous so far by now Big Ten team USC and the Bush Push.
Yeah, absolutely.
A fresh set of downs here. We dip inside of 5 minutes in the third quarter. Miller could not hang on to the football.
Second drop of the night. Not his, but the second drop of the night. What I really like, though, the difference in this offense right now from a year ago is the quarterback spot. So he's giving him a chance, right? That should have been caught. He dropped that ball. But he's giving everybody a chance because the balls were supposed to be. He's been accurate. And if he can be consistently accurate, he's going to make a huge difference in this offense.
Keeps it on the rollout. He's going to keep it himself. Kaliak-Manis has the first down, and that's the other part, right? The quarterback run game was, because the pass game was tough, last year was so important from that position. Right. It's secondary for him, but it's still a weapon.
Absolutely. And look, he's just like, all right, you're not going to tackle me? I'll just run. That's just a good decision.
First down for Rutgers, downstairs to Tarrant.
Well, and Kirk Shiraka was so sure that Ethan Kaliak-Manis was Rutgers' man that when he saw he entered the transfer portal, he said he gave Ethan a call and told him, I'm going to fly out to see you tomorrow. I want to talk to you face to face. He met with Ethan and his brother Dino over breakfast the very next day and said that he urged him, you got to come to Rutgers, you got to come join us. I asked Shiraka how confident he was after that conversation that he would end up a Scarlet Knight, and he said, I was very confident. We had to let him go explore his options, make the right decision for him, but I was pretty sure that he would land with us. And Shiraka also added there are times during camp where he's gone to sleep at night with a smile on his face, content that Rutgers got the right guys.
Well, and the coordination between the two. He recruited him at Minnesota. Kirk Shiraka came back to Minnesota after the stint at Penn State before coming here to Rutgers. In the new era of college football, it always comes back around as Samuel Brown gets the handoff and enough for the first down. But especially now, Matt, too, because coaches can talk to the quarterback on the field before the play until the play clock goes to 15 seconds. That's new in college football this year. That communication between coordinator and quarterback is so important.
Yeah, and you have to be on the same page. We mentioned this at the start of the show. They are on the same page. He coached him up at Minnesota. He knows what he's about. He understands his strengths. He understands his weaknesses. Coach Shiraka's done a really nice job with him, and you can see he's still developing. This is a huge difference for this Rutgers team.
To the end zone.
Back shoulder. Trying to play.
Chris Long, the intended receiver. We've called Robert Jones III's name a lot in coverage, and he was the defender.
Stayed to the top side. Coach Shiano's not very happy with that. He's going to get a flag. Yeah, you're going to see he's on the top. Didn't let him play.
Right.
He did have him, but.
And to your point, the flag was thrown on the sideline.
Right.
Conduct. Rutgers head coach, 15-yard penalty. Second down.
He's giving him an earful over there on the sideline. And remember, Matt, 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties.
He will.
Is an ejection.
Yeah. He understands what he's doing. Griggs in control.
Now with the penalty, though, much farther for Kaliak-Manis, who dumps it short. Nice grab. Brown in open space. Nobody's there. Samuel Brown, touchdown. That might ease some of the tension.
That was a completely blown coverage. Back out of the backfield in the flat. There's nobody on him. You got somebody going deep, but there's nothing, no coverage underneath. And here comes Sam Brown. Kaliak-Manis happy. He saw the whole thing.
Samuel Brown's first career receiving touchdown goes for 34 yards.
I can tell you this right now. This is a better offense because of one person. Kaliak-Manis. Kaliak-Manis makes the throws when he has to. He's accurate enough to give the guys a chance. That's a big difference from a year ago.
And he's got Rutgers here in full control. We'll step away for 30 seconds. Rutgers up 24. (31-7) the Scarlet Knights. They only led by 10 at the half. They're putting it on here in the third quarter. Well, tomorrow more football coming your way when Michigan State gets the Jonathan Smith era underway. Started against Florida Atlantic. Excitement kicks off at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Pre-game coverage gets going at 6:30 Eastern. They'll get that party going in East Lansing. Smarty will try and turn things around from last year. And this offense is starting to look different. And you think about, the change in this game, Matt. Howard made it a one-score game with 40 seconds to go in the second quarter. But Kyle Monungai broke off a 39-yard run. There was a late hit out of bounds. Rutgers kicked a field goal, and ever since then, the offense has been unstoppable.
I think that's exactly what Rutgers needed. Rutgers needed some infusion, especially at the quarterback spot. And so, obviously, it's the first game, and they're expected to win this. They had the expectations that they were going to go out and win this thing. But I just like this. I like what I'm seeing out of Kaliak Manis. I know I'm repeating myself, but it's such a difference from what we had here in Rutgers a year ago. So, that's a big plus.
Evan Wimpson had not transferred until after spring practice when Nathan Kaliak Manis won the job. Nice first down run for Jarrett Hunter. Yet to really get going here in this ballgame. Just his 7th carry, he's picked up 24 yards. Is the MEAC preseason offensive player of the year and the head of a two-headed backfield with Jayshon Scroggins. Trying to pick his way through, and there's just no space. Igbenogsen's on top of the pile. Down there on the bottom of it, Keyshawn Griffin.
Yeah, nice job by that defensive front to hold up that offensive line, give him nowhere to go.
And remember, Tarrant pointed out to start this game, the defense missing some key parts. Not just Moture, who's out for the year, but tonight playing without Wesley Bailey up front and Troy Rainey as well. Tyree Powell working his way back from the torn Achilles in February. Getting close, but not playing tonight. Outstarting safety Flip Dixon. On 3rd and short. Open receiver. Hawthorne's got the first down. Picks up an extra few yards out across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, they ran across. They run double cross. Generally what ends up happening, you end up wanting to try to take the first guy, and you do. You jump that, and the second guy comes clean. Here comes inside. And they ran a crossing route as well on top of that with the wide.
Might have been the first missed tackle that DJ Jabome has had to. He has been all over the field. Another chunk for Hunter on first down.
I'll tell you this. I know Coach Schiano and how he is. He is not going to be pleased with the way they're moving the football.
Tried to go quick and an incomplete pass. They tried to find Ilaraza as they were moving fast with 27 seconds to go in the third. But to your point, Matt, they've done a great job in the passing game. Howard has 72 yards passing. But on the ground tonight, the Bison over 130. I missed maybe the other spot too. Howard tonight 50% on 3rd down, 6 of 12. Holding Scroggins because they had some late changes. They finally back out. Quarterback keeps it himself. Cannot get away from the tackle. Bo Masco, the redshirt freshman corner, who they have high hopes for here this season with an open field tackle.
This isn't easy to do. You get out there all by yourself. It's one-on-one. You better make the play, and he does.
Which will take us, Matt, to the end of the 3rd quarter. It is 4th down near midfield. Rutgers push the lead from 10 to 24 as we head to the 4th quarter here in Piscataway on opening night. Scarlet Knights the lead as we start the 4th quarter. Jason Horwitz, Matt Miller, Taryn Hatcher down on the field, and some of the unhappiness for Greg Schiano that happened at halftime and wasn't happy with what his team was doing. Maybe changed there in the 3rd quarter on both sides of the ball. But as we start the 4th, it's a 4th down for Howard, and they need 3 yards. Scroggins Scroggins off his back foot. Open man, and it's a first down and more. Jared Hunter. Ooh, and he's drilled right on the sideline.
They don't quit on him. Good for him. That's a nice job getting that ball out quick. Got pressure. He just dumped it out to the outside. Somebody didn't get to the coverage in time.
Scroggins 13 of 20 tonight. Not a lot more with his legs than with his arms, but he's going to have to throw here in the fourth. And there he takes off with his legs, trying to get away from Nick Benosin. Just got enough of him, but he had enough speed and the corner, Matt, to pick up 10 yards and a first down.
Picked up the first. Nick Benosin gave him chase. He was able to make the tackle, but not before he got the first. Yeah, that's just good effort. Really good effort. He can move.
There's no question about that. He has been their leading rusher all night, right from the opening drive. 76 yards on the ground tonight for Jayshon Scroggins. Howard trying to stay in this ball game. To the air, to the end zone, and it's broken up and incomplete. Nate Clark, the intended receiver, the freshman Kaj Sanders right over his shoulder.
That's good coverage. That's right on your hip where you need to be. And then you look when he looks. Your eyes are on his eyes. Watch this. You look now straight through it. Oh, it could have been a one-handed. Didn't have control of it.
Well, you talk about placement too by Scroggins.
Yeah, nice ball. Good defense there by the young kid.
Greg Schiano said leading into this game this week, they're going to see some faces here people aren't familiar with, and he's certainly one of them. Nice patience into the hole by Hunter. He picks up about 7. Bring up third down and manageable here for Howard.
They've been able to stay there in that third 4 or something like that right in between. And then they've been taking the chances on fourth down when they've had to that paid off for them.
I mean, they got good skill position players. They knew that coming in. Their question mark for Larry Scott was the inexperience along their offensive line, and then obviously the quarterback. Into the hole, maybe a yard shy. Jabome in on the tackle again.
And here's a 4th and 1 again. 1.5 maybe. They're staying on the field.
They picked one up to start this fourth quarter to keep this drive alive. Hunter keeps it. He's met at the line. And it's going to be close.
It looks like it's short.
And I don't think he got it. It's Rutgers football on a 4th down stand. So the second 4th down stop of the second half for the Scarlet Knights. Defense the staple, and the big stick along the defensive line. Now tonight, after football, Rutgers leading 31-7 here with 12:32 to go, but keep it right here. Illinois and Eastern Illinois when we are done. And then tonight after football, the big show delivers highlights, post-game interviews, complete analysis from opening night around the conference. Only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Ethan Kaliak-Manis, his debut here for Rutgers, a good one. His former team, Minnesota, about to kick it off with North Carolina, plus that Illinois game. It's all coming up tonight here on Big Ten Network. Solid patience again for Samuel Brown. And again, Kyle Monangai, we don't know if his night is done. If it is, Matt, he has tied a career high with 165 yards. But not only those two, I mean, they are confident in the depth of this position.
Oh, yeah. Well, they do. They have good depth. And they've got a young freshman here.
Antoine Raymond, who they are very excited about.
That is the guy. He He's got some quicks now.
Freshman from Montreal who played in Florida last year. We'll see if we see him tonight or not. Brown bursts through the hole, and he's got a first down. As Rutgers will try and milk this clock as we're inside of 12 minutes to go. And again, they have put it, as you hope, right? You are Big Ten team, Matt. You have Kyle Monangai, an experienced offensive line. You come into the game tonight, and you hope to be able to run the ball on Howard.
Yeah,
they've been able to do that tonight.
Yeah, they have. And they've done it successfully when they've wanted to and when they've needed to, and that's the bigger piece.
Gallup on the tackle on the big guy, Samuel Brown. Let's check in with Taryn downstairs.
Well, you mentioned the big guy, Sam Brown, at 6'1", 220-plus pounds. He's got about 4 inches on his veteran counterpart, Kyle Monangai. And I asked Kirk Shiraka yesterday if he has any preference or if he tailors his offense to different running styles, different size running backs. And he said, I've been asked many times in my career about what kind of running back I prefer, big, small, explosive, shifty, no matter, whatever it may be. And he said, I always tell people, I just want a good running back. And he said, with these two, their explosiveness is pretty similar, so I don't have to change much. And if anything, Sam plays a big role in helping Kyle in that now that he's healthy, he can give him a little bit of a reprieve from time to time. They don't have to keep running Kyle out there when they know Sam is healthy and more than capable nowadays.
And now you were not in the Big Ten when you played at Penn State, but covering this league as long as you have, the grind of this league, and now you had different styles with the teams out west as well. You can't have Monangai running 30, 35 times, and he's right there tonight around last year's average, around 19 carries.
Yeah, I mean, they're a better team when they have 2, and you're a better team more when you have 3. So they'll do exactly what they need to do with it.
They got the playoff before the play clock hit 0. So Greg Schiano took a timeout before the snap.
Rutgers, they're first of the half.
And we will take it as well. 9:49 to go on an opening night full of expectations. And Rutgers trying to deliver. Well, part of the reason and the talk about Rutgers all over the country, certainly about the winning season a year ago and trying to keep that going. But the other part, Matt, people are talking about how large this record could be. They don't see Ohio State, Michigan, or Penn State this year. They also won't play Oregon or Iowa, the only team in this conference to avoid all 5 of those teams. Now, that doesn't make it easy. They've got Washington coming here. They've got a 11:30 Eastern kick out at USC following a World Series later this season. But certainly when people have talked about their struggles with Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State, Cadillac Man has taken off. He's got the first down. That has been part of that conversation about what might be this year for Rutgers.
Yeah, and look, there's plenty of good teams in the Big 18. I mean, there's some good football out there. And so you don't have to go looking for the same old, right? They'll show up at your doorstep, trust me. You're going to get USC, you're going to get some UCLA, you're going to get Washington's always tough and physical. USC is usually the same way.
Washington with a whole new group after Kaylee DeBoer left for Alabama, but Jed Fish did a great job turning around Arizona. Solid throw. And that part of it there, Matt, too, the on-time delivery for Cadillac Manis has been there all night long.
It really has, and the receiver's got to start coming back to the ball. You got to take a step for him. You got to go towards him. He's just waiting on that ball. That allows the defender to be able to get in on that thing. Just come back a little bit more. He knows that.
Second catch of the night for the sophomore Ian Strong. Cadillac Manis right around 60% tonight completion on the night. Remember, he was 53% last year. Samuel Brown chopped down, but he's got the first down.
He's the difference in this offense. You can see the difference between a year ago and now. It's not even close. You got some accurate balls that are being thrown. You have a chance in the passing game to actually do something. That's all on Nathan.
And the rhythm and the time feels a little bit different too.
Yeah, well, and
now, it didn't feel that way in the first quarter.
No, but as things have unfolded. And this is their first time out of the box, too.
He finds Konopka. And one of those other tight ends takes another first down. That drag play that they've been running all night long, earlier with Fletcher, there with Konopka, has been there.
Yeah, and so the thing that encourages me, if you're a Rutgers fan, is he's not been under pressure tonight at all. He has good protection. And that's another big thing. He's been accurate with the football. Ball's been coming out nice. They're running the football well. This has been a good night for him.
They're approaching 400 yards of offense here against the defending MEAC champs from a year ago. Again, Brown carrying some defenders for another 6 yards.
This is good work for that offensive line. He didn't get out on guys. Everybody coming off the ball well, not making mistakes.
Well, the other part to that too, Matt, situations, right? You get the ball with a chance on your side of the field to wear down the other team, end the ball game on a lengthy drive, and they are trying to do that, and they are succeeding in it as well. Kaliak-Man has kept it himself. Takes a hit. Jabari Knighton on the edge. Maybe here in the last 6 minutes, that's not what you want to see your quarterback do.
How about it? Well, this is his read, though, right? You're going to bite hard down on Brown, and you're just going to pull that thing and take it. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what he does.
No, it's a running play.
Transfer from Minnesota. They've talked about his leadership. Voted team captain. He's trying to ice. That'll be his first victory in a Rutgers uniform. Brown's total starting to get up there as well. He's getting close to 60 yards on the ground, spelling the career night for Kyle Monungai.
Yeah, it's good to see him back. He's a big, powerful kid. Like you said, kind of different, a little bit different style, but he's one of those guys who's a power guy. He's just going to keep on pounding. You pound it with him, and he gets stronger as the day goes on. Monungai's the same way.
Monungai last year, nearly 40% of his yards, Matt, came in the fourth quarter. Pounding with Brown again, with the cutback, trying to keep the legs going. And he turns it inside the 3-yard line.
Runs a bit high, but he's powerful, and he keeps his legs going. Nice cut right there. Look, now he's up high. Now they're gonna. Oh, look at that. That's nice. Oh, he got excited for his guy.
Well, listen. I mean, he knows how many injuries Samuel Brown went through last year.
Yeah.
He didn't think he was healthy really until bowl practice. And his teammate Kyle Monungai had to watch him go through that. Brown's got one through the air. Kaliak-Man is back to the air. Touchdown, Kenny Fletcher. His first career receiving touchdown. And it's going to ice this one against Howard.
It's a good call from Chicago. Up top, you'll be running the whole thing. Now just go ahead and throw it.
A different amount of playmakers. I mean, that's the other part. Last year, the struggle to find those playmakers on the outside and get the ball to those guys. That might be a little bit better here in 2024.
Yeah, they're off to a good start, obviously, but still got a lot of work to do.
$38-7.
But
earlier struggles, but they're putting it together here on opening night in Piscataway.
Rutgers has a quarterback.